Ecuador. Successfully positioned to reduce deforestation. Ecuador has now become one of the most advanced countries in creating a national strategy to reduce emissions caused from forest deforestation, also known as REDD+ Action Plan. Through this plan, Ecuador seeks to demonstrate the reduction in greenhouse gases emissions from deforestation and gain access to economic incentives or results-based payments. These advances have been achieved due to a clear vision of how REDD+ contributes to national development goals, such as those stated in the National Development Plan and in the post-2015 Sustainable Development Goals that have been globally agreed. The support of an enabling political, legal and institutional framework has also been key, as well as strong governance and transparent participatory processes. In 2012, Ecuador launched its UN REDD national program led by the Ministry of Environment and with the technical and financial support of UN REDD. Some of Ecuador's key milestones during this process include: first, the development of a participatory REDD+ action plan. This entailed the engagement and capacity building of relevant stakeholders, the discussion on drivers of deforestation, and the identification of costs and potential environmental and social benefits. A robust process to identify and prioritize policies and measures to address the main drivers of deforestation was also undertaken. Based on Ecuador's analysis of drivers of deforestation and forests' national and sectoral policies, 6 geographical areas were prioritized. In these areas, land use change, potential costs, and environmental and social benefits were analyzed. Investment priorities for REDD+ interventions were also identified, and actions aligned with national priorities, which altogether led to an integrated action plan guide REDD+ implementation. As a result, Ecuador's REDD+ action plan serves as the umbrella under which the other readiness elements are articulated. The plan identifies policies and measures in 5 areas: enabling policies, transition to sustainable production systems, increased value of forest restoration, and monitoring, safeguards, and knowledge management. Second, the creation of a sustainable financial strategy. This strategy combines public and international funding to implement the REDD+ action plan and considers different scenarios of economic development and targets of emission reductions at the national level based on implementation costs of prioritized policies. Ecuador is currently seeking international support to co-finance its REDD+ action plan. Third, the construction of a national forest monitoring system. This process has been based on local capacities to strengthen its institutional sustainability. As part of these efforts, Ecuador was one of the first countries in submitting its national forest reference emission level to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in December 2014. Some of the main lessons learned during the REDD+ readiness process were: first, a clear vision for REDD+. It was critical for Ecuador to understand why the country wanted to implement REDD+ and how it can contribute to national development objectives. This has enabled REDD+ to become a tool for mainstreaming climate change mitigation within and outside the forestry sector. Second, UNFCCC requirements adapted to national context. The UNFCCC guidelines were adapted to the country's political, social, and environmental context by considering existing processes and laws in the REDD+ action plan, as well as the safeguards and stakeholder engagement processes. Third, the importance of sequence. In Ecuador, it was evident that the sequencing of REDD+ activities is relevant. For example, predefining policies and measures before analyzing drivers of deforestation would not allow for a strategic approach, or implementing social and environmental safeguards without having prioritized policies would demonstrate limited applicability. Fourth, implications of the intervention scale. The discussion about implementing REDD+ through policies and measures at the national level or through local-level projects brought up issues regarding the definition of carbon rights and benefit distribution schemes. Ecuador decided to define a national action plan, including policies and measures to address direct and indirect drivers of deforestation at the national and local levels, prioritizing some key areas of the country and following the guidance of the UN Convention on Climate Change. Fifth, the political dimension of REDD+. Ecuador's experiences demonstrated that to finance and implement a REDD+ national strategy, it needs to be aligned with existing policies and contribute to national priorities. In addition, a coordinated intergovernmental and multi-sectoral approach is also required, especially because the main drivers of deforestation originate outside of the forest sector. Sixth, knowledge management and capacity building. Ecuador recommends considering national needs and capacities during the development of the REDD+ readiness elements. Capacities must be built at the individual, technical and institutional level. Institutional strengthening is key, for example, to achieve the sustainability of the forest governance processes. Seventh, audience-oriented communications. Finally, for Ecuador, using clear and culturally adapted approaches to communications and capacity building was essential to manage stakeholder expectations and facilitate the construction of a common agenda. With these key building blocks of REDD+ in place, Ecuador is ready to demonstrate emission reductions from deforestation and contribute to global efforts on climate change mitigation.